What's up, guys? It's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am so excited. It is the last day of 2020. We are getting rid of this year, kissing it goodbye. However you want to word it, we are just moving on. But I do want to reflect back and look at all of the launches that happened in 2020. Not all of them, because I didn't get all of them, but mainly eyeshadow palettes. When I look at the pile that I have next to me, I am truly ashamed of myself. But I got so many eyeshadow palettes this year, new launches. So I just want to run through those palettes and see what I purchased throughout this year and give you guys my final thoughts and reviews for this year. How many times can I say this year? Anyway, if you want to go ahead and see what palettes I got, then just keep on watching. Alright guys, I am so excited to dive on into this. This year has been obviously such a crazy year, not just for me, but for everybody in the world. I mean, this has just been a year that no one will ever forget. I mean, this was just insane. But some good things did come out of this year. Unfortunately, yes, at the beginning of the year, I was furloughed for 2 months. I am very grateful to be back at my job and have been working since. But during that time, I was able to start my YouTube channel here, which was something I've been wanting to do for such a long time, for quite a few years, but I just never got up the courage to do it, I didn't really know how to do it. So being in quarantine, I just got up and decided we're doing this. So I am so happy to be here, and I'm so happy to watch my channel grow and to have all of you guys be a part of this and enjoy my videos. I mean, it makes me feel so good that you guys are enjoying my videos as well. And then other than that, I did get a promotion with my job, which, made it a little better. Other than that, I mean, some good things did come out of this year, and so for certain things I am very grateful, but for the most part I am excited to just move on past this year and just let it go. So let's go ahead and get into the palettes. Now, this is in no particular order. I didn't do it from, what released in January to now, anything like that. I just put them all in a pile. I mean, I didn't even group them into brands. We're just gonna run through these palettes. So first, on top of my pile, we have the 12 eyepiece eyeshadow palette. This is the Black Widow palette from Ulta. As you can see, I've never even used this. I didn't even open it. This is a recent release, and I was planning on doing a video with it, and then as time just got on, I was like, you know what, no one's going to want to watch this video. It's so way past the point from when this released, but I do love Black Widow. She's probably one of my favorite Avengers, so I'm happy to have this palette. I feel like this palette could have been, more reds and blacks and fun tones, but it's just like this neutral vibe, which it's not bad, but it's, I am not a neutral girl. I am a colorful girl, so I don't know what I'll do with this palette in the future, but this was a release this year. I do like the packaging. I genuinely don't remember what I was talking about because my sister called and interrupted me. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, this is the Avengers Black Widow palette. I haven't tried it yet, but I did buy it this year. Next, we do have a palette from ColourPop. This is the Garden Variety palette. This palette, so beautiful. I actually think I bought the whole collection. So I bought like the blushes and the lip glosses and all of that. This palette is so stunning. I love succulents. I think that's been like one of the things this year is succulents, but this palette, so beautiful. Love it. Happy I have it. Absolutely. Next palettes I have are actually a bundle, and I have the Harry Potter Ulta palettes. I love these palettes because of the fact that it's Harry Potter. I am a huge Harry Potter fan. I bought the whole collection of this when it came out. I was so excited, and even though they didn't release everything at one time, I was buying it as I went. I think that they put nice thought into like the packaging. The packaging is really cute. The inside, I do find that the colors were, a bit dull. I wish the Hufflepuff had a little bit more yellows. A part of me though realized that, you know, it kind of makes a little sense, because if you watch Harry Potter, it's not like a vibrant, colorful movie. It's, you know, dull and dark. So, I mean, these colors also, you know, do make sense at the same time. But I will say that with this collection, I still wish a different brand did it, because I feel like maybe a different brand could have done it better. No offense to Ulta, but I just feel like if ColourPop had this, they would blow this out of the water. I mean, this would have been incredible. I just felt like the shades were very patchy, and I just felt like it could have been better. But of course, because it's Harry Potter, I had to have it, and I absolutely love it and will never let it go. Speaking of Harry Potter, I also did get the holiday boxes as well. These holiday boxes, even though this is more than just eyeshadow, they have the eyeshadow, liner, highlighter, and lip crayon in each box. They are absolutely beautiful. Again, the shades were patchy. I didn't really care for the gel liner, but the packaging was cool. I felt like they thought out more of the packaging than they did the actual product. But again, it's Harry Potter. I absolutely love it. I'm obsessed, and I will keep these. I just, again, think a brand could have done better. Next up is another launch that this is a brand I've never really heard of until I got this product. This is the Sugary Cosmetics Popcorn Palette. I think it says Pop Cologne or Pop, no, it says Pop Color. That's what it was. I remember someone was telling me that it was Pop Color. It just looks like an N the way it's written, but this Pop Color. And this packaging, so cute. These colors, so vibrant. I mean, this is a big old palette. And this is the popcorn palette. And I actually did get the whole collection with this, where it had like the bronzer and the blush and the highlighter and everything. It was super cute. I'm not a huge fan of the packaging where this completely comes apart, but it is a cute concept. And I found that the brand was, you know, kind of affordable. So this is really cute, and I'm happy I have this. Next, we have a ColourPop item. This is the Candy Castle palette. This is the palette by, well, ColourPop. And this is what they did inspired of the Candyland board game. So it was very nostalgic and very, very beautiful. I did find that the colors were very pastel. You know, it's not necessarily up my alley, but you can create such simple, beautiful looks with this palette. Gorgeous, absolutely stunning. And again, you know, they did this with Candyland. I feel like they would have done Out of the Water with the Harry Potter. Next up is the e.l.f. x J Kissa To the Rescue palette. You were able to customize it with stickers like I did. And this is a rainbow palette, as you can see. And these are just extra stickers I have here. Absolutely stunning. I'm not a huge fan of e.l.f. shadows because I don't feel like they perform as well as some other shadows, except for those quads. Those quads, the bite-sized ones that they have, phenomenal. Those are amazing. I'm just not a huge fan of like their other palettes. I don't even remember why I bought this, to be honest. I think I bought it because my sister bought it and she was like obsessed with it. So I was like, oh, I have to have it. But I mean, it's just a rainbow palette, very pretty, but just, I don't really think I cared for it as much. Next, we have another ColourPop palette. This is the Little Ray of Sunshine palette. This is so cute and adorable and just sunflower vibes. And sunflowers was probably another big thing of this year. Everyone was obsessed with sunflowers. I know I am. Where is it? Oh, my little sunflower bouquet there. So stunning. This palette is really gorgeous. I did get the whole collection of this as well. These shades are just phenomenal. ColourPop's formula is out of this world, and for the price, amazing. I mean, you just absolutely gorgeous. Next up is a Morphe launch from this year. This is the Morphe X Maddie Ziegler palette. This is the Imagination palette, and this is beautiful. I was so excited I got my hands on this. I love that you've got neutrals, but you also have colorful vibes, so you can play around with this palette in a whole lot of ways. I did buy this palette for my sister as well, and I sent it to her as a surprise, so I know she was excited to have it as well. But just gorgeous. I love Morphe's formula as well. So stunning. Next, we have another ColourPop launch. I actually did get quite a bit of things from ColourPop this year. This is the, what did they call it? Like the not the pastel, like the tie-dye collection. You have these 3 palettes. They are gorgeous. Look at that. So pretty. So, so pretty. Peachy vibes. And then we have this one, which is more of greens. So pretty. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to like do TikToks with all of my palettes because I have so much and just do video after video. Or if you don't follow me on TikTok, make sure you go follow me if you have TikTok. And then we have this gorgeous purple blue one. Oh, so stunning. So stunning. Okay, I have quite a few more ColourPops, so I'm just going to run through the ColourPop palettes that I have. I have the new ColourPop Big Poppy. I have not tried this yet, but this is absolutely stunning. When I think of poppies, I think of Wizard of Oz, Dorothy. So Big Poppy, super cute, very orangey. Ugh, love it so much. I'm really going to have to sit down and try this palette out. Then we have one of my favorites of this year. This is the Star Wars Mandalorian The Child palette. Absolutely adorable. This is so cute. I have never watched The Mandalorian. I know I need to, but I just had to have this because it is so cute. Everyone is obsessed with The Mandalorian and the child. He is so adorable. So I had to have this as well. Then from ColourPop, I got the Sandstone palette. I just got Native American vibes from this. I have some Native American in me, and I just have always been so fascinated by the culture. So this palette really gravitated towards me, and it is stunning. I mean, this is like a very nice everyday palette, and the metallics in here are absolutely beautiful. So I am glad I got my hands on this. Gorgeous. Next up, this was probably my favorite launch this year. Well, one of my favorite launches. You know, it's really hard to say. It's really up there at like one of the top. I don't even know what would be the top. I mean, honestly, this might be the top. But this is the Hocus Pocus Gather Round Sisters palette that came out for Halloween. And oh my god. Beautiful. I mean, each row just reminds me here of the Sanderson sisters. Beautiful. That is Halloween right there. If you have not watched Hocus Pocus, watch Hocus Pocus. You need to. You need that in your life. But just them bringing this palette, I mean, this launch was huge. Along with, you know, I mean, it was right up there with probably a crazy launch like Jeffree Star's products sometimes can be. I mean, I didn't even get everything. I missed a couple of things. I had to buy some from ColourPop. I had to buy some from Ulta because everything was just going and you had to grab as fast as you could. Lastly, for ColourPop, we have the Fade Into Hue palette. This is such a gorgeous, gorgeous rainbow palette. See, I would use this over the e.l.f. one that I got, but this is stunning, absolutely gorgeous. Those glitters are beautiful. I just did a review on this using the pink row. So if you want to check that out, I think that was the video before this. So make sure to check that out. I do have one more ColourPop palette, and that is the She's Got Solstice ColourPop palette. I don't know why I repeated myself like that, but anywho. So this is the palette. How many times can I say palette? This is the eyeshadows right here. Stunning. That glitter shade, beautiful. I got this and the blush, which I use the blush all the time, from my friend Sherry for my birthday. She sent this to me because we were in the middle of quarantine. My birthday is in April, so it was right when we were in a stay-at-home order. Obviously, you know, I wasn't planning on going out regardless of a stay-at-home order, but, you know, because we couldn't do anything or see each other, she sent me my gift, which is so sweet of her. And so I have this palette. I love this palette and will hold on to it forever because it's such a wonderful gift. Okay, so now I'm going to run through the Morphe palettes that I have. Oh, it is getting hot. So I feel like I might be missing some. I feel like they have had more launches than what I have here. Anyway, I think I might be missing some of the palettes, so we are just going to go with what I got, and if I miss some, I miss some. Starting off, we have the 35C Everyday Chic palette, and this palette is gorgeous. I need to use this more. I mean, those greens would have been perfect for like Christmas. I mean, even for like New Year's, that is gorgeous. Absolutely stunning palette. I love Morphe's formula. I think they do such a good job with their formula. So, I mean, I'm very rarely unimpressed by their stuff. Next up, we have the Morphe 24M Main Event palette. I think this was a palette that, was it Mama Mitchell is a part of. And this palette is gorgeous. I mean, you get such fall vibes from this. And then these are like the water activated like liners. They're not good for shadows, I have come to realize when I was trying this palette out. But I do want to try them. I didn't try them when I did the video, and I really should have. But this is still a very pretty palette. Next, we have the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. Ugh, I was so excited to get my hands on this. I have the original one, but this one was just beautiful. I mean, so pretty. You get those oranges and those vibrant reds and pinks and purples and the yellow. Oh my gosh. The looks she created in her campaign for this, stunning. I love this palette so much. I love all my palettes so much. I mean, it is what it is. Next, we have another one of the 24 palettes. It's the 24A Artist palette. Past palette. This was in a collaboration with, oh crap, Sweetie. That's who it was, Sweetie. And this is so stunning. I mean, gorgeous. I remember I did a rainbow look using those whole 2 rows. Absolutely stunning. And then we have this glitter here. Such a beautiful, beautiful palette. I actually did get the brushes with them, and of course I love all Morphe brushes, and I did get the peach spray as well, which smells heavenly. Next, we have a newer launch. This was the Morphe Lisa Frank palette, which is the 35B palette that they repackaged with Lisa Frank. And this is what the palette looks like. It is a lot more vibrant on camera than it is in person. I do really love this palette. I love Lisa Frank. I love the concept, and that there were 3 different palettes. You can pick your own packaging. You know, I love the brushes. I have the sponges, and I think that it is stunning. I feel like the color should have been more like vibrant and bright. But I do still love that it's Lisa Frank. Brings me back to my childhood. Absolutely adorable. Next, we have the 10G Glisten Up Morphe palette. This has 10 shadows in here, which are mainly like metallics and glitters. I believe this came out this year. I could be very wrong, but I think it did. But I have not even touched these yet. I have not even swatched them. It's just so pretty. Like, I don't want to touch it, but I do. I'm really going to need to get in there and use them. Like, this color Respect has like all different kinds of colors in there. So beautiful. I'm really going to need to play around with this. Next up, we have one of my favorite launches from Morphe this year, and that is the Nikita palette. I don't really watch Nikita all too much, but I do think this palette is stunning. I've seen her on TikTok. I have seen her before. I know who she is, but I mean, this absolutely beautiful. I did use that middle shade that looked like the marble, and I hate that I did, because like now that marbling is ruined, but I mean, it was too pretty not to use, but just, that is so stunning. Such a beautiful palette. Lastly, with Morphe, and probably one of my favorite, probably like the top favorite of this year, was the Coca-Cola x Morphe collaboration. Now this palette is pretty plain in its tones with some pops of reds and that blue, but I love Coca-Cola. I love my Coke so much. Absolutely beautiful palette. Ugh. I had to do this video twice when I did the review on this, because the first time I did it, something happened, it didn't film or whatever, but such a pretty palette. Gorgeous. Next up, I do have something from BH Cosmetics. I feel like something else launched this year with BH Cosmetics, but I can't remember what it was, or if I have it, I don't know. But this was probably the biggest one, and this was the BH Cosmetics. This is the like ice cream collection where every single palette is a theme. So like cherry on top, this one I think is like all red tones if I'm not mistaken. Yes, look how pretty. Now, BH Cosmetics has a formula that I don't really, I mean, they're not bad shadows, but I don't really care for them either. Like, BH Cosmetics doesn't make me, like, jump up and freak out like ColourPop does. But this collection, these shadows performed phenomenally. These were butter. Like, I mean, I am mind blown at what they did with this. But all of these palettes, absolutely gorgeous. And then we have like Sugar Cone, which is an all neutral, and like these metallic shades, stunning. Look how like bright and fun that is. Oh my gosh, like this shade here, gorgeous. This pistachio, I think that I'm gonna need to like use the red, the blue, and the green one and like battle them against like the Jeffree Star palettes, because just look at that. Stunning. So stunning. Get your hands on these if you can. Oh my gosh. This one is Bubblegum, which is the blue. Look how vibrant that is. Just look. Oh my god. Gorgeous. And lastly, we have Cotton Candy, which is such a cool looking palette. So cool. Okay, we are almost done. I just have some Glamlight and Jeffree Star to go through, so I think we'll go ahead and jump into the Glamlight. The first one that I have is the Ice Cream palette. This year I was introduced to Glamlight, and I have all of their food palettes now. They are so beautiful and just so creative. I mean, like, look at this packaging. Absolutely gorgeous. And these shades, oh my god, look at that. So stunning. Oh. They make such amazing eyeshadows. If you have not tried out Glamlight, you need to go and get your hands on something from their food line. So pretty. And then I did get the PR package, which is like the ice cream chuck, and when you open it up you do have that here. Every single one of my like food themed palettes with Glamlight, I did make sure to get it with like their PR package, because I think it's such a cool concept. Same thing with the Glam Donut palette. So beautiful. I mean, they even make these tiny palettes, which are only $22, which is not bad. And just look how pretty that is. And just this packaging in general, I mean, it is raised up. It's like a donut. It's squishy. And you just get these beautiful shades in there. Another launch from them this year was the Glamlight Burger Slider palette. So this is the mini burger to the big burger palette, and it comes in like a wrapper. And then this is the inside of the palette. So pretty. Absolutely stunning shades. I mean, those blues just pop. And lastly, I am showing off the palettes that were included in the foodie boxes. So the first foodie box that I did get with a new palette in there was the Pie palette, which came out with the holiday foodie box. And you had to get the foodie box in order to get the palette at first. I think they did end up launching the items individually because they knew they were going to be such a hit, or they were such a hit. For some reason it's fighting me to get out of the box, but that is the shades there with that pretty blush in the center. So gorgeous. Their formula is phenomenal too. And then lastly, we have the chocolate donut palette, which came with the Chocolate Factory. I don't know if they released these items individually or not. I'd have to check. But I did get the foodie box, and again, so cute. And this one is a more like neutral brown tone. So gorgeous. That is such a beautiful highlight on the face. Stunning highlight. And lastly, we have Jeffree Star. So Jeffree Star had a couple of launches this year. First being the cremated palette, which we have here. This palette, this packaging, so gorgeous. I love the marble effect. I did get a couple things from the collection, but mainly I wanted the palette because I have every single one of his palettes. So it's almost like a collector's thing. But this is the inside. This is a perfect palette if you want those cool tone looks. that smoky eye, just gorgeous tones. And he did add a new formula. I think it's in this one and this one, where it's got like a diamond reflect or something crazy like that in there. But this is such a beautiful palette. I know that it came out around a very controversial time, but I do see both sides of the situation. And ultimately, I think it's a beautiful palette, regardless of the name of the palette. I'm looking at the eyeshadows, looking at the packaging. I think it's beautiful, ultimately. Next, we do have the Orgy collection. Now, again, this is another like crazy collection where people were not liking the name of the palette, you know, but again, I don't care about the name of the palette. That doesn't bother me. It doesn't scare me. I think it is a beautiful palette. I mean, this is like a makeup artist's dream right here. All the neutrals you can think of, all the neutrals you could need are right here, and they're all matte shades. They work stunning. I am not a neutral girl, but I find myself grabbing that palette more than anything. They also did come out with the mini palette, which has all the metallics in there, and this is the packaging for that one. I think the packaging is really pretty, and these are the metallics. They are gorgeous. Do I think they could have been better? Absolutely. They could have been a lot better, but they are still really, really pretty. And the last launch that I have now, before I go into this one, I do have the Bloodlust palette as well, but I cannot remember if that came out the beginning of this year or like the end of last year. I do not remember at all. So I didn't include that in this because I wasn't sure and I forgot to look it up ahead of time. So if that was in 2020, I do have that palette as well. But for the last palette that I have in the Jeffree Star little group is the Blood Money palette. This packaging is so cool. I feel like he goes all out when he does his blood collection, meaning his Bloodlust, his Blood Sugar, his Blue Blood, and now his Blood Money. I mean, he's got 4 babies in this collection. I mean, he does a great job with packaging for the other ones like Jawbreaker and Cremated, or Alien, or Thirsty. I mean, they're just, you know, not, that's more bulkier packaging when it's the blood collection, I've noticed. Bulkier, more fancier. And this is the palette. So beautiful. I enjoyed doing my review on this palette. Such a stunning palette. I mean, all the different types of shades of green you can think of. It's just beautiful. I mean, if you need a green look, you can just go right to this palette and there you go. You're set. Alright guys, so that was my walkthrough of the 2020 eyeshadow palettes that I purchased this year. That is a lot, and I feel like I still missed some, and don't judge me. That is a ton. I will say that yes, I do have a makeup problem. I know I do, but I get to create beautiful looks, and it's art to me, and I enjoy it so much, and I love getting to share that all with you guys here as well. So anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic Happy New Year, and this next year brings you nothing but blessings and joy, and I cannot wait to see what this holds for me, what this journey, you know, has in store for me being here on YouTube now, and I hope it takes me to great places. But alright guys, I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like this video if you do, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, let me know down below, did you guys get any of the same palettes as well? What were your thoughts? I'd love to know. Alright, I will see you guys in the new year. Bye!